So now we will discuss one by one. First, we discuss colonial economy. So, what is colonial economy? In India, colonial exploitation is a long history. We know that they exploited our country. That means British exploited our country nearly 200 years. They ruled our country. They take huge amount of wealth from our country and they send it to Britain. Okay, why? Because they make their country a big industrial country, and that's why they take huge amount of wealth, that means raw materials, from our country, and all these raw materials they send to their country and make their country an industrial country. They also become our country a commercialization of agriculture. They also encouraged the commercialization of agriculture. Why they encouraged commercialization of agriculture? Because for their countries production of goods, that means for the countries for their country in industry, they need so many raw materials, and for that they encouraged commercialization of agriculture in our country. Okay, and in this way they transform our economy into a colonial economy. Now next point is semi-feudal economy. They also make our country semi-feudal economy. What is semi-feudal economy? In semi-feudal economy we see two aspects. The first aspect is they want to exist a feudal system in agriculture sector. Feudal system means there will be a landlord and tenants. Okay, semi-feudal economy means there should be they want to exist a feudal system in agriculture sector. That is called feudal economy. Why feudal economy? Feudal economy because in agriculture system we see there are landlords and tenants. In landlord tenant systems, landlord used high tax rates. Landlord used high tax rates, and they always have a cruel intentions to the farmers. They always tries to exploit the farmers to collect taxes, that means lagan. In another side, they also established a modern industrial system. In modern industrial system means there should be a two sector. One is capitalist sector and another is labor sectors. We also know capitalists always tried to exploit the laborers in whatever be the ways. They always try to exploit the laborers. So that is why we see in our country in the colonial system, that means in British period, we see there are two systems. One is feudal system and the another is capitalistic system. In feudal system we see landlords and tenants, and in capitalistic systems we see there are two sectors. One is capitalist sector and the another is labor sectors. So that is why we say it is a semi-feudal economy. Next, British tries to our country a stagnant economy. Which economy we say stagnant economy? The economy where we say the growth rate is very low. Where the growth rate is very growth rate means the production, the rate of production is very low. That economy we say stagnant economy. So here we see a statistic, that means a data is given here. In the first half of the 20th century, only 2% growth rates shows our country. Only 2% growth rate shows our country. That is a very low growth rate. That is why it's called stagnant economy. And our per capita income only 0.5%. There is only a 0.5% of per capita economy. So we read 3 points. Number one is colonial economy. Colonial economy means they tries to make our country a raw material suppliers. This is a colonial economy. Semi-feudal economy means landlord, tenants, and capitalist and laborers. Third, stagnant economy. The growth rate is very low. That is why we say this economy is a stagnant economy. It is a backward economy. The next point is backward economy. Indian economy at that in the time of British rule, Indian economy also a backward economy, or we can say an underdeveloped economy. Why we say it's a backward economy or underdeveloped economy? Because our level of productivity was very low, per capita income is very low. In agriculture or in industry, we use traditional system. We cannot use technology at that time. Okay, at that time there is a huge birth rate and death rate. There is a numerous amount of illiterate persons at that time we see, and that's why we say it's a backward or underdeveloped economy in British rule. Next point is a depleted economy. Which economy we say it's a depleted economy? Where the physical assets, that means machines, where physical assets or machines which are not replaced. Basically, British have no interest to introduce new assets in our country or new machines, to install new machines in our country. They always exploit or depreciate the machines which they use. They have no intention to introduce new assets or new machines in our country, and that's why the old assets or old machines are depleting or depreciating day by day. Mostly we see in the time of Second World War. In the time of Second World War, British used so many machines which they used beyond their capacities. There are so many machines British used in the time of Second World War beyond their capacities, and that's why these machines, these physical assets, are depleting or depreciating. But they have no intention to install new machines, new plants, or new equipments. Okay, and that's why day by day our country is depleted, becomes a depleted economy or a depreciated economy. And the last point is an amputated economy. Which economy is an amputated economy? Where we see divide and rule. Divide and rule means, we know what is divide and rule. With divide and rule means British tries to discriminate the persons. That means the British discriminate the Indians on the basis of religion, caste, language, and culture. Basically, what we see in Hindu and Muslims, they divide our country on the basis of religion in India and Pakistan. And at the time of partitions, there are so many losses we have seen. The large number of refugees went to Pakistan, and the same amount of refugees also comes to India at the time of partitions. Okay, so many raw materials related portion